We're joined once again by Joseph Lee, who is Vice President and General Manager of the NJ PBS. Joe, you like that? You ever hear people, the Ohio State University, the NJ PBS? I like it better. How you doing?
We will take it. We will take it. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Hey, can we get this out of the way? You and I talk offline. We'll talk about public broadcasting in a minute. You have a big Syracuse connection. Our son happens to be up there right now. Huge communication, media, programming, and journalism, correct?
Oh, absolutely. The Newhouse School of Public Communications, typically rated top 1 or 2 in the country. Just a ton of broadcasters, people in our profession come out of there. So yeah, it's a huge school. That's a school that I reported into.
Absolutely. By the way, the website information about NJ PBS will be up there. Check out NJ Spotlight News every night on NJ PBS as well as WNET in New York. Let me follow up with this, Joe. These days, as we get to the back end of 2022, the most significant 2 or 3 challenges that public broadcasting in our state faces are?
Well, you know, I think one of the bigger issues beyond public broadcasting is the collapse of local media, which obviously public media is a huge part of. But local media plays an important role in our democracy in keeping people informed, staying on top of the issues, serving as a watchdog to a degree. And as those institutions, small businesses begin to fold up, there's no one holding public officials, the business community accountable for things that are happening in our community. So staying on top of those issues, having a robust journalism program, a robust newsroom, I think is critically important to public media. The other is really the migration of audiences away from what we call legacy media. And figuring out how, as a business, we stay in front of people with our brand, with our content, with our service. So that's a huge issue that public media is going to be facing over the next 2 months to 15 years.
Follow up on that, Neil Shapiro, the president of WNET Group, which NJ PBS is a part of, along with WLIW. We have this conversation all the time. No money, no mission, you say?
That's absolutely right. I mean, you can't.
It doesn't stop, Joe, does it? It doesn't stop.
Not. We, you know, obviously, as a non-commercial entity, you know, we can't go out and sell ads. So we have to have public support. There has to be support from the private sector, from foundations. It's a community effort. When you talk about making good public media, that folks come together, pull the resources together, so that we can provide a critical service to our state and our communities.
As you see the NJ PBS website up, if you choose to find out more, if you choose to support, we will not turn this into a fundraiser. But I want to follow up with this, Joe. So creating new programming for us at the Caucus Educational Corporation, to disclose a longtime partner, if you will, with public broadcasting in this region. Every time we come up with a new idea, new initiative, it's like, oh, that's a great idea on paper, but if you don't raise the money, it doesn't happen. Constantly coming up with new, significant, important, impactful programming, a big part of your job, is it not?
It is. And, you know, it's not necessarily driven by sort of the creative process in your head. It's thinking about, what does the community need? Who's not being reflected in our content? What issues are out there to explore? What's happening in our community that is worth celebrating? And when you start from that point, there's a ton of ideas. The creativity begins to flow when you think about public service and addressing issues and celebrating community. Then you can start thinking about those creative ideas. But yes, you have to have support in order to bring that about. So you can have a great idea, but if no one's behind it, if no one's willing to support it, it will sit in a computer file on your desktop.
Follow up to this, Joe. You talked about, I don't know if you mentioned the term diversity, but it's implied there that there's a very diverse state, but in many ways, if we know the public school is a very segregated state, right? Yeah. No secret. How important is it to continue to seek and achieve more diversity on the air in our programming, as well as those who are creating content at NJ PBS?
Well, it's critical in that we are a publicly supported entity. You know, all the people in New Jersey need to be reflected in our news coverage, need to be reflected in our content, need to be reflected on our staff, people that we partner with, businesses that we do business with. So it's critical. If you are going to be what I want NJPBS to be, which is a bit of a town square, a town center that people come to for news, for information, for entertainment, and see themselves on the screen and online and our content. That is the mission of public media. And if you're not fulfilling that mission, then you need not exist.
Joe, you've been a journalist, you've been in media for more than a couple of years, same here. And I have my own reaction when people call us the quote, not people, certain people call us the quote, enemy of the people, certain very high level officials, otherwise known as the former president of the United States, enemy of the people, fake news. Your reaction, personally and professionally?
A robust news operation is a cornerstone of our democracy. And if you are going to take down democracy, that's one of the first places that you're one of the first institutions that you're going to attack. And so, we have to brush those criticisms off. We know that we provide balanced news and information, a balanced perspective. We offer perspective on what's happening around us. And we just have to keep doing that. We know that our supporters believe in what we do and support that. But if you are going to alter democracy in this country, you're going to attack a free press. And a free press is critical to the success of this country as a democracy.
So if people want to check out what's going on in New Jersey, NJ Spotlight News every night on NJ PBS and WNET. In the region Metro Focus, you will find it on NJ PBS, WLIW, WNET, whole range of other program about arts, culture, a whole range of important issues. As Jolie said, a town square, if you will, for our region, for our state and our region. Joseph Lee is Vice President, General Manager at NJ PBS. Joe, as always, thank you and best to you and the team at NJ PBS.
Well, thank you, sir. Thanks for all that you do. It's important to have a place to have important discussions so that people can hear their ideas reflected. You provide that with this program and others. So again, bringing people together for conversation and understanding and finding common ground, it's what we do. It's what we're all about.
Imagine that, civil discourse in media. Thank you, Jolie. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Johnson & Johnson, Investors Bank, MD Advantage Insurance Company, PSC&G, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, Summit Health, and by Englewood Health. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by ROINJ.
PSC&G is building the utility of the future, a future where people use less energy and it's cleaner, safer, and delivered more reliably than ever. We are modernizing to lower emissions, support more renewables and electric vehicles, and reduce outages. And we are empowering our customers. At PSC&G, we are powering progress.